Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, in this day and age, it'd be easy to grow cynical and simply tune out the noise of a 24-hour cable news cycle that feeds off the latest Trump tweet. From Donald Trump's recent decision to invite the Taliban to join him for a retreat at Camp David for the week on the anniversary of 9/11 terrorist attacks, to his earlier statements caught on tape bragging about sexually assaulting women, I fear that too many, including members of this chamber, have become numb to this repeated debasing of the presidency, numb to a president who lacks even a hint of remorse or shame as he spews lies to the people he was elected to serve. But we cannot afford to be numb. We cannot let this become normal. No, we must hold Donald Trump accountable for his false promises and for his lies. We must ask, what happened to Mexico paying for the wall? Trump promised every American over and over again that they wouldn't have to spend a dime on his wall, pledging that Mexico would pick up the tab 100%. He even said it's an easy decision for Mexico to make a one-time payment of $5 to $10 billion. But of course, it wasn't so easy. And now, Trump has done a 180, falsely claiming that he never said Mexico could write that check, trying to gaslight us all with every lie that he tells. We simply can't let him get away with it. The truth is that Donald Trump already revealed who he really wants to pay for his wall. He discloses it every time his administration begs Congress to spend billions of your tax dollars building it. He doesn't care that many who live on the border believe building a wall from sea to shining sea is the least effective and most expensive way to secure the border. Trump may not care, but that helps explains Trump's failure to convince Congress to fund his Vanity project, even when Republicans controlled both chambers for 2 years. And his outrageous response to his failure reveals another sad truth. The presidency hasn't changed Donald Trump one bit. President Donald Trump is the very same old Donald Trump whose true character was revealed on the leaked Access Hollywood tapes. In Trump's mind, when you're the president, you can do anything. Congress did not appropriate funds for your ineffective wall? Well, just grab funds that Congress authorized for more important programs. Tired of failing to convince Congress to spend American tax dollars on your wall? Well, just declare a fake emergency. Senate Republicans will let you do it. Listen, Trump's decision to build his vanity wall with funds stolen from military construction projects and homeland security initiatives isn't really about border security. It's about politics. If he actually wanted to secure our nation's border, he wouldn't be stripping away funding from the dedicated men and women who are responsible for defending it, the United States Coast Guard. Yet that's exactly what he's done, ripping tens of millions of dollars away from Coast Guard programs, ignoring that his actions could endanger our national security, ignoring that we're right in the middle of hurricane season. As if that weren't bad enough, he's also defunding facilities dedicated to cyber warfare operations and bomb defusing trainings. He's slashing money from schools and child care centers for our service members' children, too. Donald Trump told us over and over again that Mexico would pay for his wall. Well, that was a lie. Mexico isn't paying for his wall. Our service members and their families are. The families at Fort Campbell are, as their children will now have to keep eating lunch in their school's library because Donald Trump decided that revving up his political base was more important than upgrading an aging military school. My blood boils when I hear that children of U.S. service members are being forced to learn in makeshift classrooms within classrooms. No child should have to learn in that kind of environment. In my view, that is the true national emergency. Let me tell you about 3 other cases where the president is stealing money to go pay for his wall. One is at the Channel Islands Air National Guard Station in California. The project that is losing funds is this. This project will supply the Colorado Air National Guard with an adequately sized and properly configured space to support a space control squadron function in accordance with force structure changes. The facility must provide adequate space to support the squadron's operations, maintenance, security, command and administration, and storage areas. The facility must have an unobstructed view of the southern horizon. The current situation is that this Space Control Squadron, most likely happening at Peterson Air Force Base, does not currently exist, and there are no adequate facilities located at either Peterson or Buckley Air Force Bases for this Space Control Squadron. The only solution that meets all mission requirements is to construct a new facility at Peterson Air Force Base. If this facility is not provided, the squadron will be unable to bed down the space control mission and equipment with operation and strategic mission impacts due to inadequate facilities. This is what he's stealing money from in order to build his vanity wall. A second project is at Fort Greely, Alaska. The impact of taking the money from this project will mean that Fort Greely, Alaska will not have the enhancement and capabilities for the ballistic missile defense system. The mission of the agency is to develop and field an integrated layered ballistic missile defense system to defend the United States, the deployed forces, allies, and friends against all range of enemy ballistic missiles in all phases of flight. This expansion project will provide the BMDS with increased ground-based interceptor capabilities to allow operational capabilities. What happens if if the funds are not provided? The planned enhancements and capabilities of the ballistic missile defense system to meet emerging threats will not be available for our nation's homeland defense. He is stealing money away from our nation's homeland defense to build his vanity wall. And finally, at Fort Huachuca, Arizona, the current situation is that the facilities do not meet the current mandatory criteria specified for vehicle testing and maintenance facilities. The current facilities date back to the 1930s and 1940s and have surpassed their estimated life expectancy. The facilities violate current anti-terrorism force protection standards. Existing utility systems such as water, sewer, electric, and gas require replacement. There are no other suitable buildings on the installation available in support of this mission. If they were to lose the funding for this project, personnel will continue to work in substandard and unsafe facilities. The motor pool facilities do not comply with current life safety building codes and quality of life standards. The current HVAC, fire suppression, the existing ATFP, and infrastructure deficiencies jeopardize personnel health, security, and safety. This is what he's taken money from to build this wall. The Senate could put a stop to this. It is up to us. Our actions in this very chamber will determine whether children at Fort Campbell, whether personnel at Fort Huachuca, whether staff at Fort Greely, Alaska can do their job. We can defend the power of the purse, or we can be complicit in its destruction. Look, I'm not naive. I know that some don't share my outrage, that some believe overcrowded military schools, a decrease in our national security defense, our ability to defend against hostile ballistic missiles is not a crisis, let alone a national disgrace. These Trump loyalists cower to his bullying tactics, and in the coming days, they'll try to reward his abuse of power. They won't stop Trump and return the stolen taxpayer dollars. Rather, they'll argue that we should dig even deeper into the nation's funds to spend more of your tax dollars to replace the money that Trump stole. This is wrong. The Constitution entrusts Congress to authorize and appropriate funds, not the president. I urge all my colleagues to join me in condemning this raid of taxpayer funds. We must block these outrageous cuts that will harm military readiness, weaken our border security, and hurt families of those who are brave enough to serve. And with this, I yield the floor.